if our thing's a village, and there's certain things you need in the village in order for it to function year in, year out, I think we don't need that. We may need ZEZE, but we don't need her to do that for the village to function.
Oh, f*** off.
That was me though.
Yeah?
This was my teacher.
Poet never stops talking, does he? It's like constant dialogue coming from his mouth.
Yo, what's good? I'm Chuckie Online. This is my guy Poet. This is my brother Lippy, and welcome to The Elephant in the Room, a show where we take the guest and a topic and we discuss the elephant in the room. However, even though the elephant is in the room, the guest isn't in the room. They're somewhere in the building watching a conversation on the screen. Now, they have a time period in which they can come and join the conversation. If they don't, the lights stay white and it's on them. If they do, the lights will turn red and they'll be walking in the building and it could be on. As soon as you see the lights turn green, that's the point of where it's time to simmer it up and we've got to go. Welcome to The Elephant in the Room. All right, Mandem. So first guest, we got ZEZE MILLZ, cultural commentator, yeah? We're all familiar with her. I know you've worked with her a lot. I've done a couple things with her. Little one thing here and there. There's a lot of pros in what she does. There's some cons in what she does, but like, she always seems to be the topic of discussion and sometimes in a negative way. So I want to try and discuss the elephant in the room with that. The first place I want to go is ZEZE's thing more excitement over substance? Is it that?
Yes.
Is it that?
Yes.
Why would you say that?
Because ZEZE's my friend, don't get it twisted.
We're not friends. I hate when people use that word. We're associates, we're acquaintances.
I don't do that on my podcast, you understand? Man, don't go for the main controversial thing all the time. Obviously, sometimes certain subjects need to be covered, but I think she shed light on things that she might not even have been too interested in it herself, you get me? But she knew that it will get a reaction.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but I think she definitely does that.
Is there nothing wrong with it?
I think it's a, you know, it's an entry point because it'd be rich of me to say you can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad Poet said it would be rich of him because he talks about everything.
When you get a bit mature, you're like, I'm not really on that no more, you know?
Right.
I'm kind of on trying to figure out how I'm navigating through life because once I jump on someone else's problem on the net, I'm just in real life and all of a sudden it's my problem.
Poet has 3 podcasts where he talks about people. 3.
So I don't really want situations like that. But then some people probably like that type of thing, but then it's like, then what role do you play in the whole thing?
All right.
He does half-cast, he does everything, and then he has the cheek to tell me, oh, I jump on everything.
So yeah, I kind of lean towards Lippy's side, but then it's like, in order for the world to get bigger, do we need that?
He shares his opinion of everything every other week.
Tell me one pro in what ZEZE does. Give me one pro.
In terms of being a bit excited,
What she does.
what's the pro? The
Where's my little
Yeah.
notepad and things so I can write this shit down so when I go down there I don't lose it?
Yeah, she does
Genuine.
content, I can't lie.
Yeah,
It's gonna fly, it's gonna
Creates
be...
conversation.
Yeah. The con. Give me one con.
If this is a village, if our thing's a village, and there's certain things you need in the village in order for it to function year in, year out, I think we don't need that. We may need ZEZE, but we don't need her to do that for the village to function. ZEZE can do something else in the village.
Oh, off.
Right.
Do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, you don't always need to go towards controversial content because eventually you're gonna be 45 years old with a cat, just doing some knitting. The last thing you want is man at your door talking about this, that, Wiley and bare other things, so...
But you're 35 and you walked out of you got in a strop the other day with your friend and you told your friend that if he didn't behave himself, you was gonna take him off a podcast at 35. Oh, let me go in. They're chatting shit. Come on, I wanna go downstairs now.
But the thing is though, is it her fault, the fact that people just love excitement? Because ultimately, people are always just drawn to just effery. And if you want to be a part of it, do you get what I'm saying? Like, is it her fault? Because she didn't really. It's not like.
You made the point. ZEZE would mash up the village. No, and that is. I believe that should be the underlining point here.
Oh my God! Red light! You're chasing me down,
Where's she coming from?
Anywhere! Back in the day, yeah, there was one brethren. At one point in his life, he was trying to be the rude boy, the footballer. He was just trying to be too many different roles.
Yeah.
And you say to him, big man, select one and run with it, my brother, because you're talented in all of them, but just find the one that's good for you.
This is the thing, yeah? We kind of always knew that, like, she loves the conversation. She loves it, innit? That's the thing with ZEZE, she loves it, innit?
But now I've got to figure out what the I said because she could have been attacking. We don't even know who she's coming for.
Hey, it looks like she's entering the building, boy. What? The derelict building, come on.
Do you know what you look like?
Don't disrespect the elephant.
Yeah, don't leave him like that. Don't leave him like that.
ZEZE, one. All right, so first question is, what actually made you come down here? What was the thing?
Because you lot were just, well, not you. I like you, Chuckie. You're very like.
Oh, preconceived.
You're not hypocritical.
Be specific.
Do you know what I mean?
about
You're not hypocritical. You don't say things that actually apply to yourself.
All right.
So Poet was saying stuff like,
Go on.
you know, I can't have an opinion on everything, or I should maybe stick to one thing. If I could hear, I could hear something there saying something about you was. What did you say?
I don't know, you heard it.
Yeah, that's what. But you just said you don't remember.
No, I said I didn't say that.
So then how do you know? You said you can't
No,
remember.
I didn't say that.
I just asked you to say.
No, that's really great. I said I didn't say that.
Okay, so you said something along the lines of basically, at one point, I need to kind of reel it in, or something along the lines of that.
No, I never said that.
Okay, so what did you say? Because I'm asking you.
You told me. You
Because I'm asking you. You said something along the lines of that. I'm not saying verbatim. I didn't say verbatim. I'm saying you're saying along the lines of basically. Wait a minute. You said something along the lines of basically. At some point, you have to stop because you're going to be 45.
Right.
How old are you, Poet?
Yeah, so I said at some point you've got to stop because you're going to be 45. I said one specific thing. I didn't say everything.
So what did you say? You said something along the lines.
I said one thing.
You said something about
I remember that. I said there was something that you do, whatever it was, which I would consider maybe endangering to you outside of work. I said you can't do that till you're 45.
What, you didn't say anything about endangering?
I did. I was talking about how the fact is you can't do one thing up until you're 45 because in work it's cool, but outside of work it's not. So that's endangering you. So
endangering me in what?
In a sense of, if you like, but I said then some people like that. I was talking about the pus that you have at work. Some people like it outside, some people don't. But when you're older and you just want to chill out, and I said knitting and stuff like that, the cat, you can't do the controversial
thing. And then you said something about.
That was what I was speaking about.
Then you said something about you can't down here. If I remember, I can't hear everything. You said something along the lines of basically, there needs to be just one thing. You can't just be at every angle and have an opinion basically on everything.
No, I never said that. I said you can't be attacking things. Loads of different things. Not an opinion.
It's the same thing. Attacking and it's the same thing. Okay, so you're saying I can't attack loads.
Wait a minute.
You said I can't attack loads of different things. Is that what you said?
I said when you just come into this thing, try and figure out what you're good at, and then do that one thing, and then you're good. With you, I feel like, all right, you've just come in, you're attacking so much different things, it spreads you so thin that it's like, wow, Z, why don't you just do, if it's a controversial thing, then do that. Just do one controversial thing and only that. You do so much different things, I think so much different things done for you, I'm like, this is all mad.
But Poet, I think that's what I'm saying, it's very rich coming from you. You have like 4 different shows talking about 4 different things.
Shows after 13 years, ZEZE.
That's fine. Maybe it took you longer to get to there and all what I'm doing. It's not the same thing. You've got 4 different shows. Talking about you got a football. Yeah, that's why I said it's hypocritical.
It's not
hypocritical. Because you've got 4 different shows doing 4 different things. Football, half-cast, JD, all this stuff. It's 4 different things. Don't be jealous. It's all up in the there.
Stop.
It's the same thing.
As Chuckie was saying, obviously, he asked you, what was it? Substance over hype. Excitement over substance.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. And I said, yeah, I think that. And the reason, and What did you say to
I
that?
said you tweet every day.
Okay, yes.
And make people, exactly. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black. So
No.
it is.
Okay, then go on. I'm gonna let you finish.
Because you can't be like, oh yeah, ZEZE does this, it's sensationalised, and she does this to get a reaction. When most of the stuff you tweet is for you to get a reaction. We do stuff for a reaction. That's how we manage to keep our names ticking over and people want to work, because people realise that we create engagement, we create reaction, we create all of this stuff. So for you guys to sit there and act like you don't do it, or that you, like,
Okay,
it's
so
not
this
a
is
thing,
what you, so you, okay,
then
listen,
I don't get the point.
But okay, then this is what I was gonna say. I don't particularly think you do that, but you've had certain characters on your show that I don't think should have been there. I don't even think you rate them that much, but in the moment, they was relevant, you had them on your show.
My job is not to get people on the show that I like all the time, or that I rate.
I didn't say anything about liking anyone.
You just said I don't rate them. You said I don't rate them. You said I don't get. You don't think I don't. So that's not my job. My job is to read the room, see what is trending, see what people want to hear. Right. There are people that I have on my show, and sometimes I don't want to have them on my show, or I might be like, I don't really want to. But at the end of the day, I understand what works. I understand what works, and I understand what ticks over, and I understand what is going to get views, and I understand. And then I might have somebody on my show that nobody likes either. And I'll do that, or no one notes about, and I still sit down and talk with them. So it depends. That's the whole point.
I don't think you don't do that.
I got a question. No, let me have a question.
I don't think you do that.
Do you feel that you provide balance? And if not, do you have to?
Sometimes I feel I provide balance. Like sometimes I might tweet on behalf of men, or not on behalf of men, but I might say I don't think that this sits well with me. And people might. That's why girls call me Pick Me now, because everyone thinks I side with men. And at one point, all those girls really liked me because I was coming at the rappers, and they felt I was for them. So my whole thing is, sometimes I might be for this group, sometimes I might be for that group, sometimes I might not. Also, I don't care also if people don't think I provide a balance. I don't sit down with people so that they can like me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't sit down, I don't tweet so I can think, oh, I don't want to say something that is going to upset me, which I feel sometimes, Poet, you do. You sit down with people, you conduct an interview, and it's very on the wall.
Can I talk now?
It's on the wall. No one really knows what your opinion is, and that's the difference between me and you.
All right, let me show you the difference between me and you, because I don't think you're clear. I said, if this is a thing, everyone has to play a different role. You just told me the role you play. So you just said to me right now, you don't care what anybody has to say. You just said, not me, you just said that you make content that you see people speaking about, so sometimes you don't even want to do it. I can tell you, I don't do that. So when I said, some people are in this thing for a reason which potentially means when they're 45, they can't do it, you can't be on Twitter at 45 looking at what people are reacting to and trying to jump on it.
But that's exactly what the news does. And that's the problem. That's exactly what BBC News does. That's what Channel 4 does. That's what Piers Morgan does. That's what Good Morning Britain does. That's what happens.
Watch this.
It's only in our community. It's like, if I don't fuck with that person, I don't want to do it. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. That is not how journalism works.
I can understand that now, because you've just mentioned a bag of organisations that, no disrespect, I don't look at them to figure out how they make content. I look at my brethren. So if you're copying BBC and you're saying, oh, that's how they will do it, then that's the reasons why people have a very heightened commercial view of you love fuckery, because you just said the same thing to BBC.
It's not about copying. The whole point is, my thing has always been about current topics, okay? That's always what I've said. I comment on things that are happening in the popular culture world and the world. So therefore, if that is my job, I naturally have to make sure I know what is happening in the world of popular culture, in the world, so I can comment on it, okay? This is the problem with content. It's not, I don't want to always sit down with my friends. Why would I always want to sit down with people that I like? I don't want to sit down with someone that agrees with me, or we're like, yeah, ha, 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 ki. So if I sit down with someone that I have no personal relationship with, I might disagree with, the conversation is naturally going to be a lot more interesting. That is the content that I like to create.
I only care about my community, ZEZE. I can't say it any more than that. I care about everything happening in my community. Whatever's heightened within my community, I'll gravitate to. But you see, anything that I don't consider important within my community, it doesn't get my attention.
So you do the same thing as me. You just said whatever is high, I'll gravitate towards it.
I seen you speak to a guy. I saw you speak to some white one that said the N-word. ZEZE, if you think I'm gonna sit down with any white don that said the N-word...
I didn't sit down with a guy that said N-word. I sat down with a guy that was disrespectful to black women and said disrespectful things to women, which is something that I have been talking about for years.
Okay.
So naturally, I would sit down with that person.
Okay.
I would sit down with a guy that thought it was okay at once to disregard and say harmful things and negative things to black women, and that's the type of content I do. I want to sit down with him and I want to figure out why. So that wasn't why. So that was to do with my own personal interest. Okay.
Wrap up after this.
Yeah? Because you just said, first you said, I'll talk about things from a male point of view, or this point of view. The news just reports what's going on, you understand? They won't show their personal... Obviously, sometimes they might show a slight bias. You're human, you will. But I think you'll blatantly have views about things. You'll say, I think this is like this. Then you'll go and do a show about so-and-so. And I just think it kind of contradicts some of the No, because it's pretty this way.
Can you give me an example?
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I've seen you... I'm not gonna get specific because because there's no point.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because when I get specific, you're just gonna attack that one thing, and because that's what you two have just done. You've argued about specifics, and you haven't answered the question.
The round of the basis is that my whole thing has always been the cultural commentator. Therefore, I need to comment what's going on within the culture, and also that means sometimes I might have more strong interest to certain stories than I do others. And sometimes I might decide, okay, I don't necessarily talk about it, but I understand that my audience would like me to address it. So I will talk about it because that's what I want to do. Also, what people need to understand is stop trying to understand what I'm doing. I created my own lane. Nobody here, you guys or whatever, I created my own lane. So that's the problem. You lot and everyone else, everyone else is trying to understand what I do. If one day, you just said, did he not just say that? Did he not just say that? I don't understand. You said sometimes I contradict yourself.
Do you remember the point you was trying to end?
Yeah, all I'm trying to say, is what ZEZE saying she does is what I do, innit? And I think the difference between us is that I accept that people ain't gonna agree with me more than you do, I think. That's what I think. Because like, if I was sat there and people asked me the questions you did, obviously I'll defend myself, but I don't know, man. I think
I hear what you're saying in the sense that, you would own it in the sense of like, it's because you may not necessarily see all of that as a bad thing anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? Yeah, I do that.
And you may not like what people have to say about it.
Some people might not like it, but you know what? It just is what it is.
My whole thing was, if somebody asks me a question about Poet, I'm going to be like, Poet gives his opinion. I'm not going to give all the extras because me and Poet basically do the same thing. So does me, so does Lippy. So sometimes I've said to you, there's certain times I've seen you say stuff online. I'm not going to retweet and be like, Lippy, you're chatting like you do to me because you consider us to be cool with each other and friends. There's certain things I wouldn't do because I just think I can't call Lippy out on certain things because I do the exact same thing. So
all right, so I'm going to wrap up and ask the question of, in a nutshell, is ZEZE's thing excitement over substance?
For me, yeah. And it only is because, and the point I was trying to get in crossing this is, ZEZE could do some things to take more control. ZEZE should be very proud of where she is. ZEZE has achieved a lot. But then there's some things that ZEZE can do where she takes more control. Because throughout this whole conversation, I've just heard, that's what's happening, so that's what I do. And I would rather it just be, this is what's going on, irrespective of anything, because she has the power to do that.
Second question is, does she provide balance? And if not, does she need to?
Let me land, yeah? I don't think she provides balance within her own content, but like I said, what she does kind of provides balance to
the bigger scale of everything.
What's going on. Because like I said, if ZEZE wasn't doing it in a professional way, because people do it like idiots anyway, so I think that's just the place. You understand? Where
ZEZE provides balance to a world, but maybe not balance for herself. That's it. Maybe that's what he's saying.
So I want to ask you, what is your opinion on people that might feel like it's excitement over substance?
That's fine. If that's what people want to think, they can think that. Just touching on everything I do is because I want to do it. Meaning, I created this world for myself. Nobody came in, I don't have no big endorsements that I get to or people that want to back me, or people from the scene. In the beginning, nobody wanted to fuck with me. People still don't really want to fuck with me. I created this whole lane for myself. So everything I do is because I want to do it. If I want to talk on something, I also understand the bigger picture as well. And that's another problem. Oh, I only want to sit down with people that I like. Or I want to sit down. Why do we give these people attention? Because why not have an open conversation? That's how you find out how different people think. That's how we find out how different people, that's how you learn different things. You don't always sit down with people that you like. As I said, people don't try to understand what I'm doing because it's not been done before. So you're not ever gonna understand it anyway until someone comes after me.
It has been done.
Not really, not on my level. Not Lippy.
No, can I just say one thing? I have to say one thing. I have to. No, because listen, ZEZE, it's not to counter you. I just want to add to what you're saying. No, listen. Yeah, because play this way, ZEZE, yeah? Even, listen, because when you described yourself, you called yourself the social commentator, not a social commentator.
Yeah,
like, you understand?
Yeah.
Everyone on Twitter and all are social commentators.
Are they where I am? No. There we go.
I put it this way.
ZEZE.
That's
ZEZE,
it.
listen.
Everyone can give their opinion,
ZEZE,
but they don't give their opinion like me. That's it. End of.
ZEZE.
It's just like everyone can play football. Is everyone a football?
I know what to do.
Are you really though?
Why not? Why am I not?
She's a yellow jumper, fam.
Okay.
What do you mean? I'm not. Where am I not?
Huh?
Wait, my brother,
I'm just
please.
saying.
ZEZE,
You said
please.
you just think.
I just
ask
think-
me a question.
Sorry,
There you
brother.
go.
Sorry, brother. Sorry, my G. Sorry.
Oh, did Poet walk off as normal?
Do you know what, yeah?
Does Poet walk off everything?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Do you know what, though?
It's very childish.
Honestly, I appreciate you coming and doing this because it is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but you back yourself, and that's the most important thing. Thank you for watching Elephant in the Room. Let us know what you think in the comments.
You did not.
And like, subscribe, do all of that, yeah? You go. Hey, Desmond, come and go on, man, because this is long now, start.